The systems that we have in place are being taken advantage of, and that is plain to see. And the government continually does not allow people to express their concerns about that.
So let's talk about it. If you're not aware, Garron decided to offer a thoughtful, critical take on immigration that turned out to be a shallow repetition of nothing but racist dog whistles. In less than 60 seconds, he connected immigration to widespread government fraud, the unsustainable cost of living, and rising violent crime and lack of safety, and said criticizing people for offering this take was only going to push them further towards extremism. And when he was passionately corrected about this in his comments, he responded by saying that he was not anti-immigration, he was just misunderstood. And then doubled down by saying that he agreed with everything he said and deactivated his social media. Now, I'm not saying that Garron isn't being truthful, but if all the talking points and information you have all come from the extremist side of the argument, then it becomes pretty clear on the kind of content you are consuming and where you are getting your information from, as well as who is going to be validated and encouraged by you repeating it. Immigration is a complex issue. It is a needlessly complicated process that separates and isolates family members for years, sometimes a decade or more. The entire process is expensive, costing hundreds if not thousands of dollars in application fees alone. It is best navigated by an immigration lawyer, which themselves are thousands of dollars, ensuring the entire system is pay to win. Yet immigrants continue to be villainized and demonized for wanting a free ride, ignoring the fact that study after study after study shows that immigration is a net positive on the economy. Immigration brings economic growth, increasing GDP. Immigrants pay more into the system, pay more in tax than they take out in social services. And immigration does not take jobs from native-born workers, filling in gaps at either end of the workforce, providing highly educated workers with important and necessary skills that are missing from the workforce, as well as a body of lower educated workers for jobs that native-born workers would be underemployed and underpaid if they took. And Ireland specifically owes a large part of its rapid recovery from the 2008 financial crisis to a strategy that deliberately targeted and encouraged immigration, going from rising unemployment and a decline in population due to a net migration of people leaving Ireland to a vastly reduced unemployment rate, a steady growth in both the workforce and the economy, improving Ireland's overall credit rating and consumer purchasing power. But the moment that we see issues directly as a result of that rapid rise in economic growth, we're right back to blaming immigrants faster than you can say, thanks for saving the economy, now go back where you came from. Only without the thanks for saving the economy part. But it's not just the surface level understanding of these issues, it's also the complete lack of awareness to jump straight in with both feet and repeat these talking points given the current context and climate of the immigration conversation, where there is rising anti-immigrant fearmongering. There has been a steady and concerning rise in anti-immigrant hate crimes on both sides of the Atlantic in recent years, with facilities housing refugees and asylum seekers being specifically targeted and destroyed by anti-migrant hate groups. Garron's talking point of violent crime and safety is being actively used in the US right now to justify the mass detention and deportation of immigrants who are in the country legally and have not committed any crime, much less violent ones. Such as we've seen with the recent story of Jasmine Mooney, who was arrested and detained by ICE for 2 weeks while she was at an immigration office attempting to renew her visa. Or Mahmoud Khalil, a rightful legal resident who has been detained and is facing deportation for exercising his First Amendment rights to protest. And if that wasn't concerning enough, then immigrants on US soil will now have to share their social media profiles. Meanwhile, at the same time, the US government is eagerly stepping in to import violent criminals, and Ireland is sending theirs on an international press tour, highlighting just how bogus and dangerous approaching the conversation in this way is and the harm it helps to justify and excuse. So, with respect, Garron, the issue on having a conversation on this topic is not about length or complexity. It is about recognizing the ways in which this conversation has been weaponized throughout history, and the harm you do when you simply repeat the hateful memes your uncle posts on Facebook. But if you can't spot that, don't be shocked when others do, and call you out for repeating dangerous and harmful rhetoric, and for platforming and normalizing the very extremism you claim to reject.